everybody? Welcome to the third episode of Life Lessons with Juvy. As always, I'm your host, JuvyThaKid, coming from 705 Barrie area. Before we get into anything, again, excuse me, thank you to everyone who's been watching the videos, sharing them, submitting topics, everything. It means a lot to me. Without you guys, there really is no show, obviously, you know what I mean? So be sure you guys share the videos, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try and do these every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And hopefully, you know, we can all just watch this blossom together. But we can get right into it. This is kind of also a thank you to this person, Lloyd from Canada, on Twitter. He's been giving me a lot of tips as far as video making goes and everything, and I appreciate that a lot. I actually have, if you notice, it's all bright in here now. That's because he's taught me about like the lighting and stuff, so we're figuring it out as we go. But he wants to know, do you still battle rap and are you making beats? For those of you guys that don't know, I used to do battle raps. If you're not familiar with that, it's kind of like 8 Mile, but we didn't use beats and stuff like that. But I've done them for King of the Dots Ground Zero League or Division, and Toronto's other league, Beast Mode battles. In total, I think I did 13 of them. I was the first Battle Axe Warrior. I say that shit confidently. I was the first Battle Axe Warrior that was actively doing like battles. That was one of the things I put in my application for them. But yeah, no, I haven't battled. Shit, I think coming up on 2 years or something like that. Even my last couple battles that I did, I wasn't really into them. I had huge respect for the people that were running the leagues and everything. And yeah, I wasn't really into them, but they were my homies, and I was like, well, I'm not going to let my homies down, you know what I mean? But yeah, and then it just got to a whole thing where I sat back and I was watching battles for a bit, because I took a couple months off, and none of it made sense to me anymore. There was nobody I was looking at, and I was going, yeah, I want to battle that guy. My last battle against this guy, JR, was a classic. As far as I'm concerned, I loved it. There's people who say he won. There's people who say I won. I don't care regardless, because it was a good battle. We went back and forth. It was great. But, no, I'll never battle again. I'll freestyle and fuck around with friends. I'll make fun of them, and we'll make shit like that. But no, I'll never jump back into battles. Are you making beats? No. I don't really even do music too much anymore, except for maybe writing some private stuff for myself. I do have music out there if you want to go and check some of it out. SoundCloud.com/JuvyThaKid, JuvyThaKid. And yeah, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Maybe if you guys like it or something, maybe I'll put some stuff up. But yeah, no, I don't battle anymore. Probably never going to battle again. And making beats, no. Music, for myself, really. Next question. Huge supporter of Failed Youth. I am Cam's speech. This guy is an award-nominated, winning hip-hop artist from New Brunswick, so shouts to him for submitting some topics. He says, hypocrites and maybe even procrastination for those people who say they're going to do something but slack off. Man, I fucking hate hypocrites. I hate them. If you ever fucking take the time out of your day and your life to tell me not to do something and not to be a certain way, and you turn around and do that shit, you can go fuck yourself. Like, honestly, I don't care if people think that's rude. I'm sorry, whatever. But, like, why are you going to sit there, judge others, talk shit to them, but then it's okay for you to go fucking do it? No. Never. Never. Fuck that. The only situation I can think of that makes sense is, okay, say you're going through an addiction. You have a friend that smokes weed, but sits in parties with you kind of thing while you're doing lines or something like that. You're addicted, you know that, and you know what, like, the functions or like the dangers of it. So you're telling that person, don't ever do this, okay? Stick to your weed, do that, whatever. I understand that, because, you know, you don't want to see them going through that shit. I get it. Shouts to those people. The rest of them, though, if you're saying, oh, you shouldn't be smoking, or you da-da-da-da, and then you turn around and you're fucking smoking and shit, or whatever, like, man, fuck you. Be fucking real with yourself, and then you can be real with me. Procrastination. I get it. There's different reasons, though, for it. You know, maybe the motivation is there, but the drive isn't, or whatever, you know? But if you are definitely one of those people who you're always saying, you know, oh, I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, and then 2 weeks later it's, oh, well, you know, I'm getting to it. Why even try? You haven't even tried. You've come up with the idea, you've said it out loud, but what steps are you taking to actually get to any of that? Fucking sack up. Understand that there's going to be probably some dangers, there's going to be high points, there's going to be some low points. But you got to go and fucking take the chance. See what happens. If it doesn't work out, use it as a learning experience. That's all I can really say. Next. Little Jenny Wren. She wants to know who would win in a fight. Oh, Friday the 13th type shit. Boba Fett or Jason Voorhees. Obviously you guys see the Boba Fett here and the painting and everything. I'm a fan of Friday the 13th, but I'm going with Boba Fett. He's got a jetpack. Yeah, okay, Jason's really strong and he's got a machete, but you can't fuck with a man who can fly. If he can, he doesn't have to touch the ground. He can just pow, 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 pow. And that's the end of the fight. Little homie 127, salute to you, sir. You know why. Thank you very much for what you have done. Reestablishing creativity and momentum. Anybody who does art or music, anything like that, will definitely understand. Sometimes you hit writer's block or just a creative wall, and you can't really figure out where to go. You just run out of ideas. Well, what I've used, like personally, is just there's usually something that's stopping me from doing that, or from like further going at whatever I want or whatever my passion is. So if you do poetry or maybe you do art, paint a picture or write a poem or do a song about that thing. Look at it like it's a person, and you're confronting it, and you want it to see like the anger but the love. You love this passion and everything, but at times, you know, it takes time away from everything else that you're trying to do, and you end up with nothing in the end. So there's the anger, but at the same, you feel you're talented, other people see it, they think it's beautiful, whatever. There's the love. So you got to figure out a way to confront it and kind of give it its own personality, and just go at it. That obstacle, and just fucking pretty much start tearing down the bricks in that fucking creative wall that's in front of you. Hopefully that helps, you know. Steven100. I see you changed your name. If I still fucked it up, I'm sorry. Message me and we'll figure it out. But how about disciplining children, and how do you go about doing it? Obviously, in case you haven't seen the other ones, I'm a father. I have 2 daughters and a son. I've never had to put my hands on my kids, like as far as like spanking and like stuff like that. I feel if you can raise your children and you deal with them respectfully and you talk to them respectfully, when they do something wrong and you need to discipline them, you go about it the same way. Yeah, you have to be stern. You have to let them know they did something wrong. But you have to let them know why they can't do that. You need to let them, excuse me, rationally, you need to let them know why they aren't supposed to do that, and why in the future, as they get older, they won't be able to do that if they're at the age where they can understand that. Obviously, timeouts or whatever, you have to do that, but every kid is different, I guess. The way I go about it, you talk to them respectfully all the time. You treat them respectfully. You never, make them feel like what they did wrong was their fault and they're bad for it. Yes, they made a mistake. People make mistakes. don't ever fucking put your kid down just because they did something that was wrong. You did shit wrong, don't fuck around. To all the parents out there. Oops. Oops. Alright, Metalhead Betty. Intimate partner violence. Now, I'm not 100% sure what you kind of meant by this, so I'll answer it from kind of both sides, I guess. If you are in a relationship and you and your partner make that consensual agreement that you will have a more rough sex life, you could say, you have to set boundaries. You can't just, be fucking hauling off and giving her Mike Tyson punches, or, him fucking Mike Tyson punches. Unless that's what they're into, I don't know. But you can't, you have to set the boundaries. You can, maybe a couple slaps in the face for either side, but there has to be a safe word. Mine's Oklahoma. There has to be boundaries of what you guys both agree that you will not do. And you have to have that agreement where, there's the bedroom activities and there's the out of the bedroom activities. If you see that it's starting to kind of cross over into, okay, you're taking this from the bedroom into more, you're trying to play with me or some shit. If you're not comfortable with that, you need to say something. Say, hey, this is only for the bedroom. When I tell you to, or something like that. Obviously, other than that, you shouldn't be fucking hitting the person you're with. I don't give a shit if you're a man hitting a woman, you don't do it. If you're a woman hitting a man, you don't fucking do it. I'm not down for any of that shit. Feminists, whatever, say what you want. You don't hit fucking men. Men don't hit you. That's the way it is. You treat everybody equal and respectful. You don't fucking swing on each other. Unless it's some an intense situation where you have to use physical violence, keep your fucking hands to yourself. That shit's public school. Boom. Alright. Oh, little Jenny Wren with another one. As it's Friday the 13th, CGI monsters in horror or prosthetics. Your preference. What's scarier? Personally, I love the old face-melting prosthetic gore of the 80s. And I am 100% with you. 100%. CGI can look cool. They can do some pretty cool stuff with that. But there's little things they can't do. Jack Nicholson in Wolf. I love that movie. The makeup in that. Even Underworld. A lot of the Lycans, when they're werewolves, those were guys in suits. That was animatronic faces, everything. As far as just makeup though, the prosthetic, I love it. Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. So many. Eli Roth's Hostel. Some of that is just fucked. But a good homie of mine, actually, Patrick Zombie, does the prosthetic makeup kind of like that, and it looks so cool. I'm a huge fan of that. CGI is cool. You can make CGI monsters look cool. Obviously, with some, you have to. Godzilla, you gotta make it, scale to the buildings. I get it, but I'm definitely more of the prosthetics and the old school stuff like that. What would Freddy Krueger look like if they just did him CGI the whole time? Look like shit. Nerland 1337. Before I get to your topic, I want to thank you because I saw that you reached out on the last video about when I talked about vaping and everything. If you haven't checked that out, go check out episode 2 right now. I fully said that I wasn't too knowledgeable on the topic, and he reached out. He was a pack-a-day smoker, I believe he said, and he went to the vaping, and it was a very healthy alternative. He feels way better. So that's awesome, dude. I'm personally, for me, maybe I just haven't tried it enough, or maybe I'm just, I'm too skeptical about it. It just doesn't really work, but that's fucking awesome. If you guys definitely, if it is a healthy alternative, 100% across the board, and you guys, and anybody out there who uses it, good job. You know what I mean? But some people say that sometimes the right decision is sometimes hard to make. For sure. What's the toughest choice you've had to make? Hashtag Church of Juvy. Wow. That's a really good question. I think one of the biggest, one of the toughest choices I've had to make, because I can't just single out one, is when I believe I was 19 years old, and I made the choice to go to detox to get off of a lot of drugs and everything. That was definitely a hard decision to make because I had to leave my kids for a bit, everything in the outside world for a bit. And it was scary. It was a completely different change of life, you know what I mean? I had to learn how to wake up and not do certain things or use certain things. So, yeah, it was crazy, and even walking through the doors was a tough choice to make, you know? So, yeah, I'd have to say it was going to detox and getting off a lot of hard drugs and everything. It's a hard struggle, and there's tons of people going out there. My heart goes out to you guys. Hopefully, if you yourself are dealing with an addiction, or you know somebody that's going through an addiction, you know, just be there for that person and try and help them the way that they can be helped. Obviously, if they're not in the position where they want a lot of help at the moment, you can't do too much, but it doesn't matter what happened. When that person turns around and says, you know, I need help, can you please, like, take me to detox or whatever, you know, be there for that person. That little thing could end up being everything that changes them over, you know what I mean? So yeah, toughest decision, going to detox. And I guess that's it for today. Alright, thank you guys for everything. Thank you for the topics, for liking, for sharing, subscribing. Make sure you guys do that. And yeah, I will see you guys on Monday.